Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. So today's episode we're going to be putting in some bump stops into these shock absorbers. Now I know you're probably thinking, why didn't I put the bump stops in when I put the shocks on first time round? And the reason for that is because I needed to take a measurement of how long the tie rods were going to be, and then as to how much suspension travel I was going to have once the tie rods were in. So let me show you what I mean. Now I've done the other three off camera, but okay, so let me show you. So you can see here, get my long pointy thing. So this is the tie rod. Turn this round for you. So this is the tie rod. This is an extra long Allen key that my friend Alan lent me. So this is the tie rod. The tie rod stops here, and then it goes into the 5mm ball connector. So let me show you what I mean. So without a bump stop, the suspension travels up, but then just when you don't need it, when you need the steering to work, this 5mm ball connector hits on the lower part of the gearbox there where the idler gear goes in. So I don't really need that much travel, I only need that much 5mm travel. Let me show you on the other side. I've done the other side. I put the bump stop in. From the lower part of this ball connector on the shock to this part of the shock is 16mm, 1/6. This bump stop is 13mm, so therefore I've only got a 3mm gap. But what I need is the steering to be fully operational, so when the steering servo turns left or right, what I need is the tie rods to go through the gap where the steering linkage is, and therefore get it at an angle. Therefore I need to limit the amount of travel in the shock absorber in order for the steering to work correctly. It's a bit of a compromise really. You can either have loads of suspension travel and no steering, or minimum suspension travel and 100% steering. So I'd rather go for the minimum shock absorber travel with the 100% steering. As you can see there, it lifts up and down, but this part of the tie rod does not catch on the gearbox when the steering is turning left and right. So I've done the front bump stop there, and I've done the two bump stops on the rear, one on the right hand side and one on the left hand side. Now obviously, because the steering doesn't work to its full maximum on the rear, I've still had to limit the amount of travel in the shock, bearing in mind that the rear suspension arms are the rear lower wishbones are 5mm wider on each side, so you've got 5mm extra on the left and 5mm extra on the right, whereas on the front they're 5mm less. So by allowing a 13mm bump stop on all four corners will give me the same amount of suspension travel for the front and rear. Now the front obviously operates at 100% steering, and the rear with the steering servo only operates at 50%. So even though I've compromised on the suspension travel, I haven't compromised on the amount of steering arm to not hit on the gearbox. So I'm going to dismantle this front one. I'm going to take this ball connector off, put the bump stop on, and then put it all back together. Okay, so yeah, let's turn it upside down. Now you'll also notice that I put these side protector bars on. You do get them in the kit, but it tells you in the manual not to put them on. Now if you were building up a Wild Willy 2, which I think is a WR02 chassis, you get these in the kit, but you are told to put them on. But also if you were building up a GF-01, like the dump truck, yellow dump truck or the black dump truck, or even the chrome edition dump truck, you get these in the kit, but it doesn't tell you to put them on. So I'd rather put them on, because this one on the right hand, on the left hand side, as you can see, it goes around the steering servo. It fits snug, it goes over the bolt holes. Now I've only put in the two middle, like the rear bolt hole and the middle bolt hole. I haven't put the front one on because I need to put the front body posts in. Okay, so just take this off. Nah, look how long that is, as opposed to that other miniature one I got. There is a good bit of difference here. It's got to be at least twice as long. That little one's ideal, but obviously I need to have the longer one. So let's just change these over, put the bump stop in. Yeah, I didn't really notice the distance. I've gone through my battery, my motor, a box of electric motors I've got. I've gone through that box to dig out a suitable motor for this build. And yeah, I wasn't really going to do a mega fast motor. I'm not going to go brushless with it, but I will go brushed. And I'm going to use these dodgy snips. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to hold on to the side there, and then we'll put this little one in and undo that buckle. Hold on a minute, what's going on here? They're not super glued in, are they? Oh, here we go. That's what you want the little key for. Maybe that's just not. There we go. Right, and then we're going to plonk this bit of rubber tube on. And then we're going to poke this back on. Now, I know you're probably thinking, yeah, I should have done this beforehand. But like I say, I needed to work out how long the steering arms were going to be before doing this mod. Excellent. Right, stick this back upside down again. Yeah, unfortunately, because this is a custom build, I need to make sure that I can assess everything that's going to work on it and what's not going to work. We're all hands and no items here. Yep, there's another train going by. Yes, there is a railway at the end of my garden, and the trains run every 15 minutes. and only run every half hour on a Sunday. And then come about 3 o'clock in the morning, you get a big diesel train go by with like about 15 carriages on it, but they go through like 10 mile an hour and the whole house vibrates. When I remember when I first got the dogs, Maisie and Poppy, every time a diesel train went by they would get up and bark. Anyway, yeah, so that is the shock done. So with the minimum travel on the shock absorber, I therefore don't have the tie rod knocking on the bottom of the gearbox there. Okay, that's going to be it for today for this one. Thank you all ever so much for joining me, and I'll catch you all up soon for the next part. I don't even know what one this is. We will put in the motor, which will go in there, the wires will go up there, but also next episode is going to be two in one. I'm going to put the motor in, I'm going to connect a battery up on the wires to get it to go round, and then I'm going to offer up the body post ready for the body to go on. I've already chosen the front body post, so we'll put them on and then get these bolts done up, and then yeah, hopefully that'll be one step closer. Okay, thank you all ever so much for joining me, and I'll catch you all up soon in the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers for now.